It's true, man. We are like the way, like another way I kind of look at what we're doing is we're not trying to be like a typical college, right, or university setting.
Yep.
Um, every, in fact, actually, when I talk to representatives from like some universities or colleges,
Mm-hmm.
they tell me that a lot of their students, like they take the classes there and then they use the mentorships as like an addition.
Yep. And that's yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's a bonus. We also have some people currently in the mentor coalition that are just doing their whole thing with us. So what
Awesome.
they do is they'll take like let's say one mentorship, it doesn't matter the discipline, right?
Yep.
And then they work and they're posting on the Discord community, they're getting feedback, and then maybe 2 months later or 3 months later they sign up again
Mm-hmm.
and they go, okay, this is where I'm at now. I've spent some time working on my stuff based on what my mentor told me before, and now I'm ready for another like chunk of sessions with maybe the same mentor, maybe a different one, maybe the same discipline, maybe a different discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like there's some people totally doing that. There's some people, like I said, that they've graduated and they want somebody to talk to directly to kind of keep them motivated and on track,
Yep.
right? Because they no longer have access to the class setting.
Yeah.
Another thing we do that I host is like the career coaching,
Okay.
and so that's not like a technical thing, right? Like maybe the material mentorship is like, hey, we're talking about substance designer or substance painter, and I'm looking at your materials and I'm giving you feedback on like, hey, this roughness or whatever,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the career coaching is something that I noticed when I was in school, or even now, like it's not really like it's not done well. I don't know how else to put it. A lot of people that I talk to, they come out with, they send me their resume and they're told by their school that this is like good to go, and it needs a lot of work
Yeah.
because like you have to have a good portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, dude, like everything else is like got to be up to snuff too, like your social media, like your art station, right, like your resume and your cover letter.
Mm-hmm.
uh to me, that's it, I don't want to say as equally as important as your skill set, like your art, but it's up there, man.
Yeah.
We do like I do interview coaching with people too.
All right. Okay.
So
Yeah,
like
that's a good one. Yeah.
yeah, so like a lot of people don't, I mean, how else do you get that experience, right? Unless you do the actual interviews. So
Yeah.
we go deep into it. Like if you want to, like uh we do like mock interviews
Mm-hmm.
and I give you like detailed notes. So I had one person um take the career coaching and we spent a ton of time on it, and it was really good. Like some short time later they went and they like were successful in getting a job. And I'm not saying I'm the only reason, but I was like, I'm just saying that as
That's great. Congratulations.
it helped to unlock that side of things for
Of
them.
course. Yep.
Yeah.
Because like, well,
So
that's
I
the thing.
think yeah.
Well, on you go. I'll let you finish.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, I was just gonna say like when it comes to obviously like the whole kind of thing about like you nailed it there because I'm the exact same, and it's literally every person I've had on the podcast, there's always been that kind of extra thing that people have needed to, like they've either been fallen short of, or they're way behind, and they think that they're ahead but they're not. And like that's like when it, especially when it comes to places that like charge you so much money, and you think you've finished and you think you've graduated with like the best portfolio, and then you realize
Right.
that you're miles behind. It's just like it just shows how far behind the education system is. And like that's why I said like I was lucky where I went. And when it comes to just the whole sort of how can I say it? Like there's so many different aspects that come together that make you a great candidate for success. And
Yes.
these things take time, but because obviously like so the one thing I completely respect about the student education system in terms of like the teaching side of things is I understand is that obviously they're massive classes sometimes and it's hard to get one-on-one situations, but that's when I think it's
Right.
just the mentorship side of things is just is a lot better. Because
Right.
like for me personally, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for almost everyone tuning in right now, I guarantee you, everyone who's tuning in, they'll be like, I've learned more from either podcasts, tutorials, mentorships, etc., than they did, like you said, than people who went to the courses. And like that was the same with me. Like I've had like 3 people who've mentored me. I've had a guy called Alex. I've had Pat, and I've had Fraser. These 3 guys have like taught me.
Oh, cool, man.
Way more, like, so I've learned more from them in like a few months than 4 years of education. And that's like
Yeah.
a lot to say. Like that's a big statement, and it's like a lot of people forget. Like some people forget how crazy or extreme that statement is. And
Yeah.
it's about, obviously, like that's the one thing I've been trying to figure out in terms of like the podcast, is like how to get the podcast actually, or how to get people, like how to get all the lecturers listening to podcasts. If I could just get all the lecturers in the world to like listen to all these podcasts. So you've got your Ryan Kingsley's podcast, you've got your Alex Beddoes, you've got the Environment Art podcast, you've all these podcasts. It's like trying to figure out how to get like the right information into schools. But that's the thing. I personally don't think the student education system will change. I have no idea which way it'll head, but we'll see what happens. And but that's the thing. That's when it comes to like a personal thing and a personal decision to you, is that no one's going to do things for you, in the sense that you have to kind of approach it in a selfish way. Well, not selfish way, but as in, right, I'm an adult, or I have to, if I want to get something, I have to do it myself, and I have to figure out the best things. So
yes, I'm really glad you brought that up. I think that can't be fucking emphasized enough. Like, I went to whatever school, right? I could go to the best art school. It doesn't mean anything if I don't do my job, right? And my job, in my opinion, or your job as a student, is to take full advantage of the resources at your disposal. It doesn't matter if it's at that school, if it's online on Polycount, if it's through the Mentor Coalition, if it's on, really, rich Discord communities. You need to work, right? Like you have to put together your portfolio. And nobody's going to do it for you, man. Right? Like, I think one thing that is not talked about in a open and honest way is the way the entertainment field is very competitive, right?
Definitely.
It's not like, I don't know how to say it any other way than this. Like, there's a lot of jobs where the product already sells. You may go sell car insurance. I'm going to go work on vehicles. I'm going to work in an automobile manufacturer plant, whatever, right? Assembly line. I'm going to go sell stuff at some retail store. Those type of jobs or those industries, they're already built to sell product. So you're there to assist in that, right? Like whether you help to create it, whether you help to move it in the retail space, whether you help to take care of it after the fact, like via technical support or whatever, right? The way the entertainment field works is it's like cutthroat, man. It's like sports. If you're not good enough for the needs of that project or whatever you want to call it, they're not going to hire you. And that's like very brutal to say, but I feel like one thing that I wish somebody told me when I started was exactly that. Because I thought like when you went in, it was like, oh, it'll be like all the other jobs I had. Walk in, I interview well, and then I just go do the job. There's tons of work that you have to do, like on your own time outside of class, artistically, technically, like we know with your soft skills, which is kind of why I offer both an art mentorship and the career coaching. Because even if you're a student or like you're a AAA artist, I've worked with both, man. I've worked with people that are like well-known environment artists in my art mentorship and in my career coaching. Like you're never done. So I guess what I'm trying to say with that is like, I just wish that was more open and like honest.
Yeah.
like just the way that it is. Because you could be like, oh, I'm gonna go work at Best Buy and sell TVs. I did that, you
Yeah.
know. But I think that like those jobs, the consumer's already there to do the thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I'm gonna go buy a car from Volkswagen.
Yeah.
They're on the lot, right?
Of
Like
course.
they're already wanting to buy a car. You're there to seal the deal.
Yeah. No, that's a perfect.
But
That's a
with
good way. Yeah.
sorry, but with what we do, right, or what we're trying to do, is you're there to like sell your brand, which is another thing I talk about in the career coaching, like why you should be like why you think you're uh, how to sell that you're like good for the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond like, oh, here's my awesome portfolio on ArtStation.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, man, yeah,
No, that's
I
awesome.
lost my train of thought if I'm being honest.
It's okay.
I'll let you take over for a minute and maybe I'll recover.
Right, okay. I'll sing a song. that's
Yeah.
that's the thing, because when it comes to this whole kind of main thing that we're discussing here, I guess the main thing overall is just it's the most, you have to be so honest with yourself, and you have to be straight to the point, and you have to accept that if you're starting out, you have to accept that you're a beginner, and like the fact, and like you said that there as well, is that like we're always learning. It doesn't matter what area you are in your life or how far into your career, whatever it is, you're always going to be learning. But at the end of the day, it's acknowledging the fact that every industry is run differently. Obviously, there's like lots of trends and certain things like there's so many common things that happen, like Josh was saying. But you have to realize that, like for example, there's lots of studios that will hire you for a certain amount of time, and then they might not need you anymore. And it's about figuring out that well, not just figuring out, just accepting that this is the case, and acknowledging the fact, right, that means I need to plan. That means I have to give certain time to certain areas, so I'm constantly getting in the jobs, etc., and being stable. And once again, it's just about being honest with yourself all the time and accepting the fact that it takes time. We've said it every single podcast. I won't ever stop saying it. It's just hard work, passion, consistency, and not giving up. And you just have to keep remembering that. And like that's the thing, like when it comes to art in general, it's like if it's your passion, you just have to keep doing it and figuring out the best ways to get ahead of people, or just most importantly, just having fun. And the one thing, also going back to this whole thing about mentoring, that I want to bring up is the fact that everyone is your mentor. So everyone in the world is a chance to kind of, obviously you want to get the right people and you want to get the best advice as possible. But I always say it once again, another thing I say, it's like the most important question, it's the most important thing in my life, and that's asking questions. So reaching out to people, figuring out, maybe try and develop a relationship with someone who might be willing to help you out. You never know. Maybe it doesn't have to be a course or whatever, but if you're a bit shy and you're a bit nervous and you're just trying to get that first step, reach out to someone. Maybe it's via LinkedIn or whatever. Maybe it's someone, a friend of a friend or whatever. Figure out what's going to make it easiest for you to make that first transition. And like we're talking about today, and it's the main subject, mentoring might be the thing for you. So give it a go and see what happens. So
yeah, that's actually what I did, man. I like that mentor I mentioned, Greg McDonald. I reached out to him on a forum,
right. Well,
and then he like helped me, man. You know.
But that's that's the thing, because like for example, I was saying, so one of the guys who's helped me, Alex Jajom, an incredible guy. He's helped me out so much, and incredibly grateful. And I literally just sent him a message, and I was like, he even came on the podcast and so forth. And like, you don't have a clue who you'll meet. Like, it's about, like, this is the thing that I was talking to Charlie on the last podcast, and we were talking about GDC, etc., and he went to GDC, and GDC just opened up his whole world for him, and he was like talking to so many different people. He got contacts by reaching out to people, by trying different things, and it just takes one person to give you a chance, and there's 7 billion on the planet, so you never know. There's always people out there to help, and like that's the thing. It's like, it may be like you never know, like your favorite artist might, like I was talking to Josh before the podcast, like I was saying to him, like like, you know me, of everyone who's tuning in, like I'm a kind of an energetic, loud kind of person. So I was like, Josh, this is so awesome having you on. Like I'm like so blessed talking to him. But once again, he's human. It's Josh. Like it's you just have to realize that it's we're all people, and it's just down to giving it a go. Obviously, I tend to geek out too much because I love art so much. But anyway, we'll just go with it. But that's the thing. It's just down to it's just about asking and giving things a shot. And before I keep repeating myself, like you said, I put some what's it called, questions out on Twitter, and I know you saw some of the questions as well, Josh. So I was just gonna
let's do it.
So we've got 3 questions, or is it 4?
Okay,
3 or 4, and then what we'll do, we'll move on to the fun and epic part of the podcast. We've got 500 seconds coming up.
All right, dude, I'm ready.
I can't wait to bombard you with these questions, man.
You told me you've got some cool ones, so now I'm nervous.
Oh, dude, they're awesome, man. Right, so we'll start.
All right.
We'll start off with our first question on Twitter, and it's actually from a good friend. We've got Kevin asking a question. So he says, "What's the best way to get started with material creation? Small scenes or props, or a particular texture in mind?"
Oh man. Well, I think the my initial response to that in general is to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So don't worry about like what it is, I guess, or what tool it is. More just get into the flow, do things, right? So many people message me, or I see these questions all the time, like, what tool should I use?
Mm-hmm.
You can model in so many packages, you can texture in so many packages. And I'm not in any way trying to be dismissive of this question. I'm just trying to state that, like, broadly, it's about just getting started.
Yeah.
Right. When if you remember back earlier in the podcast, I talked to you about like, hey, I did props. And for me, that's when I discovered like, oh, hey, like I love texturing. I have a passion for this. People respond to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think that's not a bad way to start, actually. It could be world textures. To me, it doesn't, I guess it doesn't really matter where you start as long as you start.
Yeah, definitely.
And whether that's on like a prop, like, dude, I remember like years ago when my wife and I were first dating.
Okay.
This is how I knew she was the one, man.
Awesome.
So we
content, this is brilliant.
I was like, I need more art.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go to a construction site and like take pictures of all these generators and shit.
Right.
And she's like, oh, I'll go with you. And I'm like, really?
Whoa,
and she's like, yeah, I'll go with you. Yeah, dude. Yes. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, you know? And so anyway, that's super awesome, right? But we went and like I took pictures and she's like, oh, look at this over here. You know, like this is a really cool like rust thing. And she's so sweet, man. Like she's awesome. But anyway, I took that home and then I tried to emulate that on my props, right? On the stuff I did at home. I wasn't trying to make the best cliff rocks or soil textures. It was more like, I'm going to do this thing like on these props. Like this is a cool panel detail, or look at how this chip paint happens. And yeah.
Like the whole like experimenting, trying different things.
Right. Just do it, man. I don't know any other way to.
No, that's a perfect answer.
So many people get like hung up on the how or why or what I should do. Like
just do.
The only way to do it, man, is to do it and get the shitty stuff out of the way, because you're going to make shitty art. You're going to make shitty decisions.
Yep.
It's going to happen. So just own it. Like look at it as an opportunity to find the right path. Don't be like afraid of that. Like this kind of goes back to your other question earlier about like mentoring. You got to have empathy, right? Because you don't know somebody's background. Like maybe they come from a really like critical household, or people, dude, I actually had a mentee I worked with. She was in school and she was told like she wasn't going to make it.
Right.
Pissed me off, man.
Yeah.
So I had to work with her a lot to like, no, like I think you can, you know what I mean? Like you can totally do it. You just have to work hard.
Yeah.
But you never know like somebody's background, right? Or
course.
what they've been told and what they believe, right? And so you kind of have to help them too. But yeah, man.
No,
Anyway,
that's a great answer, and
yeah.
hopefully that helped Kevin, because it certainly helped me. So the next question is from Adil. He asks how to present a material portfolio. What's the best thing? Because I know obviously a lot of people use like the balls, etc., and the spheres, and
It's all about the balls, dude.
all about the balls. Got to get the balls.
It is.
Is there
balls
anything...
and cylinders? It's true, man. That's like so what true. It is, you know.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I guess that's answered. So yeah, present them. Obviously, you want to make the present the thumbnails as best as you can. I guess. I'll let Josh answer this because obviously you guys don't want me to talk to this question, but the master of balls himself, answer away.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll never forget. Like I did like a Nomon presentation about environment art storytelling, and somebody took a picture of me. And they made a meme, like they put like balls at the like hashtag balls or something at the bottom, and it was like floating around the internet. It was so weird. Classic. But anyway, yeah, but like I'm pretty passionate about this topic actually. So
cool.
What was the question? Like how to present the materials?
How to present a material portfolio.
So I think what you do is you have good lighting. And you have a consistent way that you present your work, right? And you have a variety of materials also. But yeah, like whether it's on balls or cylinders, I think that a good way to show things is like on a ball, on a plane, maybe like I mean, I'll just say it, like, look at what I do, right?
Yep.
I know you're not supposed to talk like that, but I have stuff that's like on a wall, on a ground. I have the primitives, like the balls or the cylinders. And my goal when I'm presenting any material is to try to show it in the best light, like no pun intended, but literally the best lighting, right? Like I want you to feel like so excited about this thing that I'm working on. And I want you to be like moved by the lighting, the way the material's responding. So a lot of it's like consistent composition, lighting, and primitive usage, I guess. That's really what I would say, man. Like it's a damn good question. It's okay to show displacement too. Like I don't know why. Anyway, I don't want to go into that, but it's cool. Like show it off. Like it's totally fine. Don't rely on it. Don't think it's the only thing that matters, but don't be afraid to use it, you know?
Because like that was the thing. Yeah. Like I've heard you actually you've mentioned in a few of your podcasts, and
oh yeah.
No, I wasn't saying that in a negative way, man.
No, I'm just laughing at myself, man.
Yeah, like that's like. Oh, trust me, I've done my research. I was literally just like my whole last week. It was just Josh Lynch. It was just like literally listening to everything about Josh Lynch, and like, just getting everything as much as possible, all the information, because like, that's the thing. Because it actually, your answer actually was perfect because it actually carried on to the next question. Literally, it was a great carryover to Ryan's question because he was asking. This was actually one that I was actually intrigued to answer as well. Like, how many materials do you expect to see? Because obviously variety and range is important, and obviously the quality is like, most important. But is there kind of like what's too less amount? Like obviously is like 5 way too less? Is 10 like what's considered like a? I know it's a hard kind of question to answer, but
I don't think about it like that at all. I don't think about numbers.
Awesome.
What I think about is what you do with it.
Okay.
Right. So if you come to me and you show me like 20 materials that are like unfinished, I don't really care about it, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm just being honest because I want to see what you as an artist do, like with storytelling and like capturing the essence of that material.
Yeah.
So I guess what I meant to say when I say like I don't really care about it is I want you to really like have fun with your work. I can feel like I look back at some of my older work and I can tell like, oh, I wasn't having fun with that.
Yep.
I can tell when I was having fun, you
Completely
know?
agree. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You can kind of feel it like when you watch a TV show or a movie when the actors are having fun.
Yep.
It kind of just, you feel it, you know? Like you can't maybe put your finger on it, so to speak, but like, so anyway, I definitely don't think of it like a number at all. Like if you show me rubber, painted metal, and soil, that's just three, but like what did you do with them to make them look cool? Like
Mhm.
what did you do? You know, like I want to see what you feel as an artist, like what choices you made. I think that's the real thing, right? Like what choices you make as an artist. What did you choose to emphasize and why did you do it?
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to talk to you about. If I'm going to talk to you about a material artist position, like I want to know like what you feel passionate about. Like even if we disagree on it, like why do you like what's important to you?
Yep.
Like
That's a perfect way to answer it.
do you choose to like do like base realism and like not a lot of like over the thing, but that's your choice and that's your consistency across your portfolio and that's what you believe in. You're like, no, I want to have it this way. Do you kind of push everything? Like I personally always push my like gloss or roughness. Like I love that, right? And
Yeah.
so that's kind of like my thing. Like I believe in that, you know?
Yeah.
So like some people really push the vibrancy of their colors. Like I just want to know what you do. Like what do you choose and like why do you want to do it? I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's a great way to answer it. So Ryan, thanks for the awesome question. Great
Yeah,
question.
thank you guys for the questions. Those
Yes.
were good.
Right, Josh. It's the fun part.
Okay.
Be ready
Oh
because
man,
this is
I'm
where the
ready,
fun
dude.
begins. Right. So this is the
Yeah.
rules. It's nice and simple. So
Okay.
the good thing is that I call it 500 seconds, but it's really more of a great chit chat and just see what you say. To be honest, I just call it 500
Okay.
seconds to make it sound fancy, even though it's not. It doesn't sound that fancy to be honest. But the rules is so. Got a question? Simply, if you don't want to answer it, you just say pass, or if you don't have an answer, just say pass. And it's literally just a bunch
Okay.
it's just a bunch of random fun questions, and we've got about 10 questions. So I'm ready when you are, man.
Let's go.
Right, favorite game. Started it with the hard one first.
Oh man, Fortnite.
Awesome, right? Okay. Why Fortnite?
Okay. I think it's the only game that I want to pick up and play over and over again. No match is the same. The art style is great.
Yeah.
Everything's super readable. I like the, like the gameplay mechanic itself. Like I feel like I might get some shit for this, but I feel like PUBG or something like that is like checkers and like Fortnite's like chess.
Right. Okay.
Because you have the building aspect.
Yeah.
You have to be like a good shot, a good builder. You have to like have resource management. It's like an RTS, man. You know. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Because mine's always been I've always said every time I've done this, mine's Call of Duty. Mine's all
okay, another shooter. Nice.
I can literally like obviously games are great in that, but
I've played many hours of the Call of Duty. Which one do you like?
So I'm playing obviously the new one at the moment, and this I'm gonna have to say I actually think this is one of my favorite. Like obviously Black Ops 2 was the prime for my childhood and stuff. I'm a massive fan of Black Ops 3, and then this one that we're the Modern Warfare one I'm really enjoying. But I did I think Blackout though. On Black Ops 4 was one of the things I don't know. I probably enjoyed that one of the most because it was just a different experience because obviously it being something completely different.
Right.
Those are like my favorite ones. Obviously there's so many CODs. And I enjoyed World War II as well. But I could talk about Call of Duty all the time.
Nice. I like it, man.
Right, this one, I don't know why I came up with this one, but what's your favorite type of texture to do? Do you have like a texture that you could just keep on making?
I do. And it's not just one.
Right, okay.
Well, I guess in a way it is. I like materials where you mix things together.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be brick and mortar, could be cobblestone, could
Okay.
be terrains. I just like when you mix stuff like
blending them.
when you yes, I love
Awesome.
it.
So
I don't care what it is if I'm mixing stuff, oh I love it.
that's where
I
you're
fucking
geeking
love
out.
it, man.
That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
dude. Like if I'm at work and they're like, we need cobblestone, I'm like, oh fucking yes, you will get cobblestone. You know,
that's
you will
awesome,
get
man.
all the cobblestones. I
That's
really
cool.
don't think that there's any material, to be honest, that I don't like to make because I love the challenge of it.
Yeah,
But those are the ones that like really get me excited.
perfect. That's the best way to
Yeah,
answer. That's a smart answer as well. Right, cats or dogs?
I have both.
Oh, right,
I
okay.
love both.
If you had to choose, actually, I won't be on the spot. You love both. That's fine.
Well, I well, man, I can't do that. I mean, my wife and I were big animal. We have like we're big animal people. We have you know cats, dog. Like we have one dog. We have cats. We have rats.
Right,
You
okay,
know, I
sick.
grew up. I grew up with cats and dogs. All every family member had them. Like you know, like I had my like where I grew up, like we had a little farm deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had I just love animals, miniature donkeys, horses, Chinese geese, like all sorts of shit, man.
That's amazing. That's sick.
Oh, dude, yeah. I can't. I honestly can't pick between a cat and a dog, man. I
I,
really love both.
I'm a dog
That's
person.
tough.
I have that.
I have to. Okay, that's good. You be the one to pick. That's fine.
Okay, we'll switch
You
it
pick.
right.
I
Yeah,
take the
right.
pressure off me a little bit. Yeah, yeah,
I'll let you can be the host from now on. Okay.
yeah.
You, thanks for having me on the show, Josh. Much appreciated.
Yeah. No. Oh shit. Oh man.
Right. So this one, another one. So, what's a luxury you can't live without?
Oh.
So mine is, I would have to say my bed. I couldn't live without my bed. To be
Oh
honest,
man. So
like,
is a bed a luxury?
I feel it is. So I was so,
Mm.
like,
What? So I guess what I need to see now. This is. I'm glad you said something because now I need to ask, what is luxury?
so something that you like.
Give me something. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
how
yeah.
can I say it? So, like, I've got a really like obviously. Well, I'd say it's more like the mattress for me. It's like the type of mattress and how comfy it is, and like being able to sleep really well. Like to me, like is really important. Whereas
Oh man.
like for some
I'm
people,
there with you, dude.
like
Oh yeah.
like getting like good food versus just food. Like for example, like like something that's just a necessity. Obviously, like, you got just food and then water, obviously. And then obviously the most common one, like just well, there's so many different things, but it's like, is there anything that how can I say it? So like my kind of way of answering it, or the kind of question I'm answering is basically like, what do you like love to have but you don't really need? Like obviously like we've got our PC. Like, or do you need your computer? Like if you didn't have, obviously like you do art as a career, but if you didn't have your computer, then obviously you wouldn't be able to do art. So like, what's one thing
Okay.
you like?
So I'll tell you what, man. Let me. I'll answer the question this way.
Okay.
Okay. I'll share an experience I had, and maybe this will kind of answer the question. So, obviously, man, I would say it comes down to me between the ability to drive,
Mm-hmm.
like have an automobile, or like your cell phone.
Yep.
So, but the thing is, the thing that I think that I can't do without is a car, like an automobile, because
Okay.
you need, man. I can go without a phone, I think, and I'll tell you why. So when I went down to Australia last year to present at CG Futures,
Mm-hmm.
we went to this beach compound, and like the cell service, it wasn't good. But that was like the coolest thing to me. Not for my wife who couldn't get a hold of me. She was like,
Just panicking all the time.
oh yeah. And I was too. I was like I'd get these messages from her, like something was wrong, and I'm like, well, how long ago was this sent? You know, and I'd be freaking out. But the point of the story, all joking aside, is when I was without it, I felt like decompressed
Yep.
because I stopped reaching for it, and I was like, oh, like I can just be here, you know.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. So I would say that's one I would like. I'll put it this way: a phone is what I'd like to be able to be without, but
Yeah.
a car I can't be without it.
you're the first person who said phone. Because like I'm the same in the sense. So well, I wouldn't say in the same, but so
I'm the first person to say phone.
I think I'm pretty sure. You're
Man,
the first
everybody's
person.
connected.
'Cause-
Man, everybody's connected. All
Well,
right.
so I said in one of I said in one of the earliest podcasts because like I'll be straight up. So I hate phones. I think phones are the worst thing ever invented. That's just my person. I just don't.
Sure.
I just don't like them. But
Mhm.
no, that's a great way to answer it. Right. So right here's a few of the more of the fun ones. Right.
Okay.
Would you rather go deep sea diving or bungee jumping?
Bungee jumping. I've already done it.
Oh
I don't
wait,
like deep
what?
water, dude.
Oh right, okay, right. How was bungee
I've
jumping?
never. Huh?
How was bungee jumping?
How was bungee jumping? Dude, it was great.
Oh my
I
god.
bungee jumped and Beck was playing in the background.
Oh my
I
god.
remember vividly. That is something you don't forget, bro.
Yeah.
I was like a teenager and we were on a family vacation and I talked my mom into it.
Oh
I don't know
my
if I could
lord.
do it if I was a parent. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That'd be
Holy
petrified.
shit. So anyway, oh dude. And I remember the dude was like, so we're gonna go up here and like we're gonna talk about it and you're just gonna jump. And I forget what he said something like I'm gonna count. And dude, he didn't count. He just pushed me.
Oh wow.
And I was like, "Oh fuck!"
It's like, see ya.
Because to be fair, I was kind of hinting to him like, "I don't know. I don't think I can do it."
Yeah.
And he was like talking to me, and he's like, "Let's go," and he was like, "I think he said I'm going to do a countdown," and like before the final number, he just nudged me,
Oh my.
and
lord.
I was like, "All right." But dude, it was super cool. Like my back cracked like all the way, and
Perfect.
I felt like I was a different creature in the sky, and
just flying.
it was
about.
wild, man. Oh, dude.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so when my wife and I watch a show like, with like the ocean or like lakes or river, like sea monster, I'm like, nope, fuck that. I'm good. I'm good.
Get me out of there.
Yeah, but that's, some people love to go out there and like do that, and more power to them. That just ain't for me, dude.
Yeah. Right. Right. Well, you've already answered this question. I was about to say, would you rather explore space or the ocean? But I already know the answer.
Space for sure.
Space for sure. Right.
Mm.
This is another one. Would you rather be Batman or Superman?
Oh, dude. Oh, this is so loaded, bro.
It's okay. You got two more questions. You remember you can say pass as well. If you think you prefer being both, it's okay saying both.
I would say Batman.
Batman, awesome.
Yeah.
I will let you answer.
Because you're still mortal then.
Plus, you're a billionaire.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not superhuman.
Yeah. Would you rather talk to animals or speak all foreign languages?
Animals.
Animals. Oh yeah, that goes back to what you said earlier. No, that's
oh yeah. I feel like we're missing out big time by not being able to talk to animals, dude. For real.
It's great how all these are actually tailored to each other. Right. So two more questions. Would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors or go in the future and meet your great grandchildren? This is the great thing about Would You Rather. Like it's pretty much a Would You Rather 500 seconds today.
Both, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, both.
Both. Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll go with both. Right. This is
because I would want to be able to tell them like how it was hearing about them, and then I would want to go into the future and hopefully hear them, like have them tell me how it was to hear about me or how the world is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can kind of go two sides to that. Yeah.
Of course. Right. This is the most randomest, and this is the one I ask every single guest because I'm actually, once again, I'm the same as you. I love animals, so I always finish off with an animal question. So, if you could have any animal in the animal kingdom as a pet, roughly like the same size of like a laptop, what animal would you choose and why?
Oh, bro.
The silence just went there. I was just like, Josh is like, I did not expect this today on a podcast about 3D art.
Oh, no, they're good, bro. It's good questions. Oh man, I don't know, dude. Is a.
I'll let you choose. I'll narrow it down to. Instead of having one, I'll let you choose two. Or does that make it even harder?
I would say, well, I don't know if it's the right size or not,
It is.
but
You can literally shrink it down.
I would like a,
shrink it down.
I would like a, like a sloth.
Oh right, okay. That's the first time we've had a sloth. Awesome, right? Okay.
Sloth would be cool. Yeah.
Because mine's always been my favorite animal is a great white shark.
Oh,
I've
fancy.
always been a.
My favorite is a penguin.
All right, okay, awesome, right?
So I love penguins, but it's something about a little koala,
So we got sloth, koala,
sloth.
and penguin.
Yeah, I like my final sloth.
Okay, final sloth.
I want to watch it eat slow.
I'm just gonna put that right at the start of the podcast.
Yeah, dude, cut it up, do it, mix it up.
That's an awesome way to end the podcast. Man, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an honor having you.
No, thank you, dude. It's been very cool. Yeah.
As always, folks, when it comes to the Shooter podcast, make sure to give the guests a follow. Like I said, all links and the Mentor Coalition are in the description below. If you're tuning in on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to turn on the notifications to be notified every single week. As always, the Shooter podcast is we're back. It's 2020, back into the habit of things. We've got lots of artists lined up for this month as usual. And thanks once again to the Rookies Award for sponsoring this podcast. And once again,
yes, Rookies is awesome, dude.
Can't beat Alwyn and Andrew. Thanks once again to those two guys for helping out with the podcast. And with that said, folks, we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.